We got some drama to talk about today. If you guys haven't heard, Ironmouse released a video a few hours ago that's been going a bit viral. You know, the usuals, the Twitters, the Reddits, the YouTubes. I know a little bit about this beforehand, but I don't exactly know what she talked about in the video. But the skinny of it is hundreds of thousands of dollars were stolen from charity. And the result is Ironmouse is leaving VShojo. So we're going to watch the video and I'm going to pop in with insight as I have it, as I see it. So let's just jump in.
Unfortunately, I recently found out that for the past couple of months, I have been misled by VShojo. With the information that I currently have, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the thing that hurts me the most is that the Immune Deficiency Foundation, which is the most important charity to me, and also the reason why I'm here today, is owed over $500,000 from VShojo.
Boom, bombshell. VShojo owes the IDF, not the Nelk Boys one, okay? The Immune Deficiency Foundation, $500,000. I guess she didn't detail how much they owe her in that intro. I don't know if she goes into depth about it later. But crazy. If you guys don't know, VShojo is a VTuber agency. They're a Western competitor to HoloLive. You know, the rough idea is it's like an agency. You sign a bunch of VTubers, you have them collaborate, they get bigger as a part of that, and then you take a percentage of maybe deals you get them or whatever, or however it works. That's the idea. That's what VShojo is. But let's keep going.
I know that this is a lot, and it's very important for me to be honest with all of you. I really want to tell you everything, but unfortunately right now, I have been instructed by my attorney to wait for more of the legal procedure to unfold. So one day, I will be able to tell you the full story.
Is this going to turn into a lawsuit? Looks like the answer is yes, which is good. I think she should sue them. I'm usually pretty anti-sue. Like, you know, something kind of similar happened to me. It wasn't to charity, but, you know, I had funds mismanaged to the tunes of millions of dollars. I never sued for it because it was actually the fault of an individual, but this is the fault of like a corporation, and that corporation has like assets that you can, you know, see the upside of. And it's not like Ironmouse would be to gain, you know, she would as well, but the charity would as well. I'm very anti-litigation. I think this is one of the best times to litigate ever.
But for now, I just need to let you know that I will no longer be a part of VShojo. If you give me a moment of your time, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. I know for a lot of people right now that this might be the first time you're ever watching me. I became a VTuber because I really wanted to make friends. I was very lonely due to the fact that I have a primary immune deficiency disease called CVID. I basically have a low to near non-functioning immune system.
This is totally irrelevant. It's actually, I shouldn't even say it. It's crazy. The acronym for the disease is COVID and the foundation is the IDF. It's just bad SEO. That's really all I wanted to chime in about. It's not even worth saying, but it's just bad. It's SEO is all.
Which means I get sick a lot, and it caused me to remain isolated for long periods of my life. So then I found streaming, and I thought about giving it a try because I wanted to see if I could make some friends online, because I honestly couldn't ever leave my room. I never really expected to grow an audience or anything. It was one of the last things on my mind. I just thought that I would stream to, 5 to 10 people and just hang out from time to time, make some friends, play games, and just continue on with my life. But unfortunately, I was too scared to stream with my face. So a friend of mine recommended that I try an app called FaceRig that would allow me to use an anime avatar to stream. And that's how I started VTubing. It took me a while to take it seriously.
What is this? Ironmouse giving some background about herself and apparently got scammed out of $500,000. Or sorry, charity got scammed out of $500,000. She got scammed out of more on top of that. So it's more than $500,000, right? She is saying she lost money and the charity lost $500,000. So it's more than $500,000.
And even begin to think about maybe being able to grow a community and even make this a career. I think I really started to take it seriously around the time when I was approached to join VShojo. And it was through VShojo that I was able to grow into the Ironmouse that I am today. When I was approached in 2020 and asked to join VShojo, it seemed like a good idea, but I honestly did not know if I could ever be a corporal VTuber because I felt like I just couldn't. In my mind, I saw myself as unhireable, which is why streaming worked for me. I had no boss, no strict rules, I had no hours, no expectations. It was all up to me, and due to the fact that I have lived my life chronically ill and being unable to do much of anything, I just felt like there was no way that anyone would ever take me or want me. For a while,
That was so sad. That was so sad. I don't mean to laugh. That was just sad.
was struggling to make a decision because I was afraid about my anonymity and afraid about trusting people because I felt like every time I put my trust in people, it always ends in grief for me. So I was worried about expectations and 1,000,001 other things. But I ultimately decided to join VShojo. It really pains me that I am unable to fully explain why I am leaving. But for right now, here's what I am allowed to share with you.
Dang. Okay. It seems like a lot of what happened can't even be said. It feels quite vague, which I guess is necessary for a lawsuit, but also a bummer. But I guess we'll see what she can say.
Always be told how important I was for the company. And I was always told that I was needed in order for the company to succeed. Although that was very positive to hear, it put a lot of pressure and a lot of stress on me to the point where I felt guilt-tripped into signing. I felt responsible for everybody. I felt responsible for staff and talent alike. And I felt like if I didn't do this and if I didn't stay, I was hurting everybody and I was destroying everybody's life. But this didn't feel right.
For some context, I'm pretty sure Mouse is and has been the biggest streamer at VShojo for like 3 years, I want to say. She won VTuber of the Year 2 times in a row, maybe 3. Not only was she the biggest VTuber, she was the biggest female streamer for like, I think like a year as well. So at least in the West on Twitch, I think she's the biggest VTuber, bar none. I think when you add in YouTube, she's not the biggest. If you add in like Japanese VTubers, she's not the biggest. But Twitch, English speaking, she's the biggest for sure.
With me, and
I guess Twitch in general, she's the biggest because none of the Japanese streamers stream on Twitch.
I began to feel extremely uncomfortable. As my viewers know, privacy has always been one of my biggest concerns. I've had a lot of scary experiences in my life. So one amazing thing for me was the fact that VShojo handled all my payments, and it meant that I never had to give out any of my personal information. So that was always a blessing to me. As time went on, I decided that I wanted to try to start pulling out my remaining funds because I wanted to start taking over my own finances. This is what led me to this point. Throughout the years, Connor and I have raised around $4 million for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
That's a crazy number.
The majority of the money raised is through Tiltify at events like the Cyclothon, the charity auction, and other miscellaneous events that we've had. However, because of the success of my first subathon, I decided to donate half the earnings of my following 2 subathons to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. The first time I tried this, it worked great. Over 200,000 people supported me, and because of that, we raised over $329,350 to the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Because the money came from my Twitch revenue instead of a Tiltify link, it required VShojo to make the donation on my behalf.
I had to do this as well. If you guys remember my subathon, the last day I donated, I think it was $1 of every sub to charity. I think it was maybe it was more. I forget the exact amount. But we ended up donating over $100,000 to charity from that subathon for mine. Why do you have to donate directly? Because the way it works, right, is like I'm basically getting paid by Twitch and then I make the donation from that revenue, which is generally a bad way to do it. You should not, if you're making a charity donation, especially if you're doing a fundraising charity donation, have it go through somebody. You should donate it directly by just having like a Tiltify link. But in the event of something like a subathon, I've done this before. She did this. I think it makes sense. There's like some situations where it's like, I get why you do it. It's worse. Yeah, it's worse for a few reasons. It's worse for taxes for both the donator and for the person who's receiving the money. Because if you donate directly to charity, you can write that off in taxes. If you donate to a streamer who says they're going to donate to charity, you cannot write that off. And then the streamer who gets the money, like because it's passing through them, it's still technically income. And so it increases their taxable income at the end of the year.
They promptly sent the payment and the subathon was a huge success.
But usually it's not a big deal, right? Like she's just saying that's what they did. She donated some of her earnings, half the earnings, whatever it was. And then they just made the payment and then it wasn't a problem, which is also what happened to me and it wasn't a problem. And that's what happened to Kai and I think it wasn't a problem, right?
So I decided to do it again the next year. My last subathon was one of the biggest events I've ever done. The support was overwhelming and I ended up getting over 300,000 subscribers and breaking the all-time sub record. But this also meant that we had raised $515,000 for the Immune Deficiency Foundation.
She broke my record. Shout out.
I once again asked VShojo to make the donation on my behalf. But unfortunately, still a year later, VShojo has not paid the charity.
Damn. A year later. Damn. A year later. They didn't donate $500,000 for a year.
Deficiency Foundation means the world to me. Connor and I have both spent a ton of energy, time, and resources raising money for charity. And we're both so proud to be able to say that we've raised nearly $4 million for charity. We almost always raise money for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. They help people with primary immune deficiency diseases, or PI, which are inherited disorders where a part of the body's immune system is missing or doesn't function properly, which makes people like me more prone to infection. And this includes over 450 different conditions.
Not that it like changes how bad the act is of not donating on their behalf, but to like doubly not donate to Mouse's charity, which is like a charity that directly affects her life because she is suffering from the exact thing that charity is working with, is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like it would be better if it was, you know, Dr. Lupo's charity and they didn't donate to St. Jude's. It's still like horrible. But like for them to have an intimate understanding of Mouse, her situation, her condition, this charity, what this charity does for people like her, and still do that is crazy.
The Immune Deficiency Foundation is a charity that is near and dear to my heart and has a particular significance in my life. When my health first started getting really bad, the Immune Deficiency Foundation helped me immensely when I really had nowhere else to turn. I was terrified, I was lonely, and I was confused. I honestly didn't really know what was going on, and I never ever want anyone else to go through that. This entire situation has broken me. I just wanted to do something good and to give back to a community that helped me. But unfortunately, that's not the case as much.
Dude, oh my God. Oh my God.
Because I would like to continue to talk about this. Unfortunately, I can't. So, to recap, I believe that I am owed a significant amount of funds, which I have not been paid. And most importantly, the Immune Deficiency Foundation is owed over $500,000 from VShojo.
Holy
I really
shit.
wish that I could tell you more, but right now, I have been advised to wait for legal proceedings. As of right now, I am an independent VTuber. I am at a loss of what to do right now. I'm kind of processing everything. I'm very sad and very confused. Once again, I want to apologize to the Immune Deficiency Foundation and to my community who has shown so much support to me. I also wanted to say that all the ad money made from this video will go towards the Immune Deficiency Foundation. I honestly don't know what I'm going to do. I really, like I said, I really haven't had much time to process this. But below the video in the description box is a link to a donation fund for the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Thankfully, any donations made through Tiltify go directly to the charity. That link is also there if you've heard of...
Wow. Yeah, the comment is interesting. The first comment's interesting. VShojo, it was supposed to be known as the better VTuber agency. Like, that was their whole branding, is because a lot of the traditional VTuber agencies like HoloLive have very, predatory contracts similar to like idol contracts where they take 70% of like any revenue you make ever. And they also own your model. And VShojo's was supposed to be like better contracts, better splits. You own your model. Say what you will about HoloLive, but like, I mean, this is straight up an evil act. Like, I don't think HoloLive's business practices are good, but they are offering them quite openly, right? They're not hiding what they are doing. They're not lying about it. They're saying, hey, you can join HoloLive. You will have a floor of success with a ceiling of opportunity. In exchange, we are taking a fuck ton of money off of your back. But, maybe in the long run, it could work out for you. VShojo is saying, hey, we're like HoloLive, but we're way more fair. And also, we might just fucking scam you out of $500,000. That is crazy.
About this and would like to support the Immune Deficiency Foundation. Sometime this month, I plan on doing a special live stream.
Oh my God.
In order to raise money.
Look how many people donated. Wow, they had a $10,000 goal. They smashed it. Dude, humanity is cool sometimes, huh? Oh my gosh, Doki Bird went crazy. Kenji went crazy. I don't know who VJen is, but they also went crazy. Is it true that a lot of people are leaving VShojo now because of this? This is all broken while I was live. Kaho tweeted out. This person moved from a novel VTuber company to another as a staff last year, bragging about his new income. He thrusted me a few of his new business cards to give me my good contacts. I found the action obnoxiously rude, but maybe he was too young and friendly to know better. Then the motherfucker wanted to meet up for tax advice because I'm native in Japan and I hire an accountant. I was asked to have dinner in his area, which was quite far from me, splitting the bill. The day I got convinced I didn't like the guy. Yet, because I love the towns he worked with, I was only secretly hoping he would one day lose his job. Recently, I heard from another creator that he was showing photos of VTubers' real selves while revealing their personal info like marital status. I now wanted to find a way to warn other employees. Today, I've learned the most despicable shit the company has done to their talent. Don't know if he's involved with it yet. All my personal grudge is nothing compared to such betrayal. Sometimes, unfortunately, manager agencies can be the talent's worst enemy. Okay, it sounds like what happened here is very similar to what happened to me, which is a simple case of obscene mismanagement. Basically, like what happened to me is there was a business that was operating that was unsustainable. It was drawing more money than it was making. And so to make up for that, it was gaining runway by taking money I was owed without telling me so that it would be able to last as a business while the people, in my case, the person could figure out how to make the business work. But the issue is if the business wasn't working and you have the pressure of a short, runway, because I'm going to find out eventually, then the business will just continue to not work. And you actually just dig a bigger hole than what you should do, which is admit it's not working. Like declare bankruptcy. You can do Chapter 11. You can do a refile bankruptcy and then move on from there. So it sounds like VShojo had this huge influx of money from the subathon because they got all the money from the subathon, right? $500,000 is supposed to go to charity, but they got all the money. And I'm betting right now, I don't know. I'm betting that they saw all this income. They didn't give Mouse any of the income. They didn't give the charity any of the income. And they used it to pay, their business, operate, have runway, trying to dig their way out of this hole while actually just putting Mouse and the IDF into a massive hole. So every single person who is on VShojo's team who knew about this is culpable. Guaranteed the people at the top knew, okay? Which is Gun Run. He wasn't mentioned once in that video. I'm assuming that's for legal reasons. I'm not fucking suing him. I'm not in a lawsuit with him. I don't give a fuck. That's Gun Run, who I've met, who I thought was a good guy. But if he is operating a company that allows $500,000 to be stolen from charity and another who knows how many, hundreds of thousands to be stolen from Ironmouse, he's not a good guy. but plain and simple, he is not a good guy. He fucking sucks. You don't get to make a $1 million mistake. And everyone else who knew, because this was a year going on, like they knew money was being used to pay for their own salary, right? Think about that. Their money was being used to pay their own salaries, slowly bleeding out the money that Ironmouse solely worked for and raised for herself and charity. And they took it without saying a fucking thing. I mean, all of them are fucking scums. They all should be switching industries ASAP. And they should all see some litigation here because that's crazy. At least 3 staff members have left. Hopefully those people who left are people who found out and couldn't take it and then left, which, that's a fair thing to do. But yeah, damn, I can't believe it. Yeah, VShojo, for all intents and purposes, should shut down. I mean, this should be the death of VShojo. This 100% should be the death of VShojo. And chat, if you can, and you want to join, you can donate to Ironmouse's charity, which I'm going to do right now. Actual PR nightmare. Dude, it's not a PR nightmare. It is, it's a crime. A PR nightmare is like when I speak in a patois, accent. This is a genuine crime in the magnitude of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. Shout out Mouse, because she just announced that, but imagine how long she's been dealing with that. Like, we just found out about this. But when did she find out about it? Because this clearly went through lawyers' eyes. How long has she been having that on like the back burner? That's got to be stressful. So, if you can, again, donate to Ironmouse's immune deficiency campaign. I mean, clearly, like, people are on her side, and I really think she did like no wrong. Her biggest mistake was trusting people, which is sad. That is sad to hear.